And where are we on our adventures today? Nice country lane. Tweety birds. All will become apparent very soon. Michelle, the font and oracle of knowledge, tells me this is a
medieval fish pond.
Medieval fish pond. So it's old. And here we are at Hackinsole. Fantastic house. If you are the owners and are watching this, please feel free to allow us to maybe have access outside in the grounds just to take pictures, because we love your house. It's ace. And next to the house we've got the old farm buildings. I must admit I've been coming here on and off for a good number of years, and these have not really changed, which is for somebody like me actually quite nice. Again, I'd love to be on the other side and have a proper look, but of course respecting the privacy of the owners.
It looks like they've reclaimed the bricks from the barn when they've been doing the renovations, but these are really, really old bricks.
So how old would you say these bricks are?
By the size of them and how they're made, Elizabethan, Jacobean perhaps, because the older bricks are bigger but they're not fired correctly. That's why you get all these rough textures.
For those of us who don't know our time frames, how many hundred years is that?
Oh, at least 500 years.
Wow.
We know that the manor house itself is Elizabethan, so I don't have a problem with the barns going up at the same time. So they could well be Elizabethan bricks.
Wow. So we've walked back round again. Michelle was just mentioning beautiful ornate Elizabethan
chimneys.
Chimneys. How old would you say the boundary walls are here?
Probably the same age as the house.
Wow.
I mean, the manor of Hackinsole goes back to reign of King John.
That's old. You know what I like about doing these?
What's that?
Is sort of walking and people telling them the history. For those who can't get out and about anymore, and I think that's a nice thing.
It is nice, because a lot of this history is being lost. As the older generation die off who used to do, like the Pilling Historical Society, all that knowledge is gone.
Mm.
And it's such a shame, because there doesn't seem to be any new people coming up.
And so this is why myself, Michelle, Brian and other people do this.
It should be preserved. Otherwise,
Whoop.
didn't see her.
No, you're not there. We nearly fell over. Right, I'm gonna walk around this bit.
Yeah, I'm walking around it. I'm not having that one. Otherwise, we find like at Stainall, really old buildings have been demolished with immunity. It's quite sad.
Hmm. Now we're actually around the front of the house. Not particularly lots of foliage, trees. So this is the best you're going to get. But there is a date stone. I think the next time I will bring zoomy camera. Walked a bit further now. To the left we've got the golf course. However, Michelle has some very interesting information.
In this area, shown on the old Ordnance Survey map, Victorian one, a coin hoard was found in Victorian times of Roman coins. It was in a sand pit at the side of the track and dug into by accident.
Do we know where it is now?
No, we don't. Like most of the coin hoards on the far coast, they vanished.
Ah. Lots of people out today, walking doggedlies and playing golf.
Yeah, we're on the golf course.
Ah. Go on, give the history. So, in the distance, of course, you can see Fleetwood. It's really clear today as well. You see
Yeah.
Barrow.
That's Blackpool behind Barrow.
So, what Michelle was just telling me about as we were walking up, below you can see a cottage, which is...
These are the sea dock cottages, and they used to be lived in by the river pilots in Georgian times, who would then guide the shipping up towards this creek.
And there you go.
And there's a naturist club down here.
We don't know where, we didn't look. We're not going to look either.
No, I don't want to know.
No, I don't. The clunky noises you can hear behind you are the golf ladies and gents. So. Even though it's a nice day, you can hear the breeze. How nice is this though?
There used to be houseboats moored down here in the 1930s. I think they were moved off after one of them caught fire.
You can just see the steps here. For obvious reasons, they're not in use anymore. Probably break your neck if you did use them anyway. So we've got the Bourne Arms, Knott End of course. 1818. There was a beer house shown in Knott End on a map of this year. By 1844, Bourne Arms Inn was listed as holding a land auction on the 24th of September. In 1857, the licensee and Mr. Rogers were receiving charabanc trips in Blackpool and providing refreshments in the hotel gardens. By 1912, it had been transformed into a hotel, its landlord, by 1934, being Fred Roscoe. The hotel Bowling Green was the main area, such as in the town. The motto of the Bourne family, Semper Villigans, meant. So, Bowling Green bit there, and of course we've got the flats here, which some people were opposed against. So, apparently last ferry to Fleetwood. Hold on, gotta stand up and have a look. Right, a bit more history for you. So, 793. The first recorded Viking raid in the north took place on the island of Lindisfarne, where the Anglo-Saxon chronicles tell us on the Ides of June the harrying of the heathen gods destroyed God's church. Ooh. One of the things you need to remember, the Fylde was vulnerable to the occasional invasions by the Scandinavians, and there are tales of the Vikings beaching their longboats at the Gin and close to Polton as well. It's likely that the settlement of Knott has Viking roots. The invaders called their beach, marking landers. 3 pilots, around about 1708, were based at Knott End to provide safe passage to Wardleys. Knott End, again, seems to have been named after the Great and Little Knots, which were removed in 1839 when the river was dredged. A 5-foot-tall statue of Wyre and his dog in stainless steel was unveiled on Knott End Esplanade on the 11th of September 2015. It was placed on the exact spot where Larry used to love to sketch. We've added the dog for extra sound effects there for you all. 1910, Knott End Golf Club. The Knott End and Fleetwood Golf Club was founded with money from breweries. McGee Marshall, who saw it as a means of filling their nearby Bourne Arms pub. Fleetwood split away in 1932. Knott End Golf Club's clubhouse, a reclaimed ex-army hut, was opened on the 27th of August 1921, replacing the original wooden hut. The current course has 18 holes and was designed by James Braid. The club's new clubhouse, you can see in the distance here, was opened by Sir Michael in 2000. In 1870, the Garstang and Knott End Railway. So basically we're at the back of the cafe, but this is where it used to be. And Michelle was telling me if I pan, getting all the cars in the car park. If you follow, I'm going to do a pointy finger now in shot around this bit, you can actually still walk the original track. Allegedly. There are rumours and mootings, it may be open, it may not. There are not 1, but 2, but 3 Facebook groups about it.
Well, they might have a problem because some of it's private land now. You can walk it as far as Priestle Bridge, and then after that it's mostly on private land.
Didn't know that. We've wandered around a bit more now. Now, at this point you're thinking, why she stood here? Where are we? Wire view? Anyway, 1713, Dolly's cottage. She's basically where you can see this and that and other, which has been sold for something. A cottage was built in the centre of what was to become basically the village of Knott End. A local girl, Dorothy Hodgkinson, was born in 1811, and later in life she moved into that cottage. She gained the nickname of Old Dolly. So what we can see here now, these were public lavatories. And do we know what this is going to be next?
Nope. It's been closed for quite a while. It was a small antique shop and the taxi rank. But the taxi rank's moved there. So who knows
what it's going to be. As usual with things like this, I'm going to try and do some postcards and anything else that's old that we can't film today, obviously because it's not there. And if anybody has a red phone box they'd like to donate that I can have, again, thank you. So, where am I next? St Bernard's Roman Catholic Church. And about 1920 when it was founded. Current church was built on Hackinsole Road in 1922. It was originally a single space, but obviously other bits were added about 1975. Wide and low building, covered in pebbled ash. Simple Gothic windows. Obviously can't get in it at the minute. So this is older than you think. And next door we've got the church hall. The above was a flat that certain somebody has gone to the shop, was going to rent out with Brian, and they didn't accept cats. Shame really. (1928), the casino cinema Knott End. This opened for use on Lancaster Road, formerly being opened on the 2nd of July 1930. By the chairman of the council, it seated 400 people. That doesn't look like it could actually hold 400 people, to be honest. Films in the town were later shown at the Verona Cafe, and by 1937 the cinema had been renamed the Verona Cinema. In 1948, lost some seats, 387. Prices between 2 shillings and 3 pence. Tickets were only booked at the hall. There were 2 cinemas. One was a little bit of the dressing room, the other was a bit of the cafe. Then became the town library until the end of 1971, and it has been turned into a squash club. And it is now a cafe, as you can see here, called the Squash. So it's had a bit of a checkered history there, but still busy. Seriously, that does not look big enough to seat 400 people unless it goes back quite a way here. What do you think?
It may do. And they have a restaurant in there.
Do they?
Yeah.
You been in?
Yeah.
Was it good?
The food was good, but the last time I was in, it was with my mum. It was the last meal we had before she had before and got fed back.
More random facts. 1893, St Bernard's-on-Sea, named after the St Bernard sandbank by the mouth of the Wyre, Knott End, tried to bring itself more upmarket by briefly renaming itself St Bernard's-on-Sea. The name quickly faded into disuse, as you can appreciate, as did the briefly used Sunset Bay. says placed by Pre-Soul Town Council 11th November 2018 in commemoration of the centenary of Armistice, World War One, 11th November 1918. Lest we forget, of course. Right. So, wandered around a bit more. I appreciate this is only a video, but you can just see how lovely it is. Lots of people out, having a bit of a promenade. If you get the chance, do come down. It's just nice, it's peaceful, it's good for walks. Good to bring the dogs. Or if you want your cat or your ferret. Just a pleasant way to spend a nice summer's day. And the views are spectacular as well, of course. We think this used to be a hotel. We're not sure. Anyway, look, St Bernard's house. So we've got number 1. Number 2. This is yours, it's very pretty. And apparently, was this a NatWest? It was a bank anyway, but this, again, has now been bought. It's a private house. And it seems like some of the renovation work, of course, is still going on. Hold on, if it's a private house, why has it still got the bank in the side of the wall?
Don't know.
I'm just curious now. If I'm wrong, correct me. How bizarre would that be? It's like, this is my house, however, it's got a cash point in it. Right, we're sort of Lancaster Road, but we're on Sandy Lane. Now you're like, oh, she's got another red phone box. However, this 1897 Knott police station. This was sold as a private house in 2014. Again, if this is your house, it's lovely. Just had to check where we are because it is a running joke. I have no sense of direction. We're in Pilling and we are on Duck Street. So I'm going to show you the delights of Duck Street in a bit. Now, Duck Street has a reclamation yard. It's not open today. So we're on the outskirts of it. Look at this. We both want this. But we don't know how many pennies that will be. But you can get anything and everything here. It's a bit fantastic. And they also do house clearances as well. And they're very reasonably priced. I think we're on a roll here today as well with phone boxes. Ta-da! Now you can actually buy these, but depending on the state of said phone box, you're looking £4,000 upwards. Or perhaps you'd like some of these. Bit more of a walk down Duck Street. Got the name of the road right for a change. Some lovely old property down here. Just had the owners come out going, hello, what do you do? Nothing. We're just coveting items in your shop. So how old's Pilling? Very old?
Oh, didn't they? Used to be owned by the monks of Cockersand Abbey. They did a lot of draining of the moss and built the sea defences.
Did you say this was an old farm that's been done up?
It looks like an old farm, definitely. And one of these has a boggart, or used to have, but I don't know which one it is. So I'm going to film everything.
Could be this field.
No, it's definitely a barn with a boggart lived upstairs, which is quite specific for a boggart.
Right, so could it be this field? Probably not.
No, all I know is that it was on Duck Street. But apparently they used to do sail making down here.
As in boat sail making. Now, there's another one here. I just pan slowly. Now this has since been bought. I think it was just under $1 million, I think 950. This is the bit where I want somebody to come out and go, what are you doing? So we can go, hi, can we come in? You never know. Now this was done on YouTube, but obviously I'm too late. Boo. So you're going to have to make do